If you grew up in the 1990s, you basically lived in two different worlds. You started out with cassette tapes, landlines, and waking up early for Saturday morning cartoons. But then everything went digital while you were still growing up. You're stuck somewhere between Gen X and Millennial. And being stuck in the middle like that, it actually made you really good at adapting. You can have real conversations without looking at your phone. But you're also not clueless about technology. You remember what real boredom felt like actually having nothing to do except stare out the window. And that boredom? It taught you something important. How to be okay with your own thoughts. How to entertain yourself. How to just exist without needing constant entertainment. Most kids today have never experienced that kind of boredom. They've always had a screen to fill the quiet. But you grew up with that quiet, and it changed how your brain works. Let me tell you what that kind of childhood did to you. First off, you learned real patience. You had to actually wait for stuff. Your favorite TV show only came on once a week. You couldn't just stream it whenever you wanted. If you missed it, too bad. You had to wait days to get your photos back from the store. You had to wait forever for dial-up internet to connect. All that waiting built something inside you. You learned that good things take time, that anticipation is part of the experience. Now everything happens instantly. And honestly, it's exhausting. Your brain was built for a slower pace, for things that take time. That's why modern life can feel so overwhelming. You're not behind. You just run on a different speed. Second, you learned how to actually be there with people. When you hung out with your friends, you were really there. No phones buzzing, no group chats going off. You just talked and laughed and lived in the moment. Now you watch people sit together while they're all on their phones. And something about that just hurts. You're not just missing the 90s. You're missing what it felt like to really pay attention to something. Third, you had to use your imagination way more. There was no YouTube, no endless scrolling, so you made stuff up. You built forts. You created whole worlds in your backyard. You played pretend for hours. And all that? It actually helped your brain develop better. Science backs this up. Kids who play like that become better problem solvers. They handle emotions better. They think more creatively. You learned how to make your own fun. And in a world where everyone's forgotten how to do that, it's kind of a superpower. But let's be real. You lost some things too. Back in the 90s, nobody really talked about mental health. If you were struggling, people just told you to tough it out. Showing your feelings was basically considered weak. So a lot of 90s kids learned to hide what they were going through. To act strong even when they weren't. To never ask for help. Now you're an adult trying to unlearn all of that. Trying to accept that it's okay to be vulnerable. But it's hard when you spent your whole childhood learning the opposite. You also grew up thinking the future was going to be great. The economy was good. Everyone said if you worked hard, you'd make it. Then you graduated right into a recession. You did everything they told you to do, and it didn't work out like they promised. But here's the thing. The 90s made you tough. You learned how to adapt. You watched the whole world go from analog to digital, and you figured it out. You've already lived through massive change, so you're not scared of it. Younger people only know the digital world. Older people are kind of lost in it. But you get both sides. And that's actually really valuable. One more thing. In the 90s, being cool meant not trying too hard. Just being yourself without making a big deal about it. Now, everyone's trying so hard. Curating their lives online. Performing all the time. Always trying to optimize everything. And part of you just wants everyone to chill out. You remember when life was just life. Not content. Not something you had to post about. So if you grew up in the 1990s, here's what you need to hear. You're not living in the past. You're carrying something important forward. Patience, real presence, creativity, the ability to bounce back. You're the last people who remember life before screens took over. And yeah, sometimes that feels like a burden, but it's actually a gift. The world needs what you know. That slower is sometimes better. That real connection matters more than likes. That not every moment needs to be captured to count. So keep being you. Keep valuing both the old ways and the new. Keep protecting the parts of yourself that were shaped by waiting for your favorite song on the radio and Saturday mornings with no plans. The 90s didn't just give you a childhood. They gave you a perspective. And no app can replicate that. If this hit home, subscribe. We're not just talking about decades here. We're talking about the people they created, people like you.